Welcome back to the Commonwealth Report. Lieutenant Governor Tim Murray. I'm joined by State Senator Harriette Chandler and Gina Scaramella from the Boston Area Rape Crisis Center. Before we maybe get to the law and the important bill signing that took place, Gina, if you could maybe give a little background of the Rape Crisis Center and how you work with people on issues of domestic violence and sexual assault.
Sure, absolutely. Well, the Boston Area Rape Crisis Center is actually one of the oldest rape crisis centers in the country. We started in 1973 with a group of volunteers who just formed a group in Cambridge and started answering a hotline by sleeping on a cot 24 hours a day in shifts. And from that point, we've become a fairly 25-person organization in terms of staff, and we support 150 volunteers who do the majority of the direct service work. And we're available 24 hours a day on our hotline, as well as for medical accompaniment within our region of Greater Boston.
A couple weeks ago, a bill was signed by the governor, joined with stakeholders who've been advocates, family members who've unfortunately been victims themselves, pushing for years about how do we strengthen the 209 restraining order so that it allows people other than who had been engaged in a dating relationship or a family to obtain in certain situations in appropriate situations as determined by a judge a restraining order. Can you talk a little bit about the history and the specifics of the bill and why it's so important?
The bill's been around for approximately 4 years. I did not initiate the bill. Senator Pam Reeser, who did retire a couple of years ago, and she gave me the bill and said, do something with it, it's really important, and she was absolutely right. This deals with people who can't be covered under 209A because they don't have a dating relationship or a personal relation, a married relationship, which is all that 209A covers. And so people who are stalked, harassed, sexually, have sexual encounters can't do anything about it. They're just out there, and there's nowhere to turn. They can't call the police because there's nothing to call the police for. The police can't do anything.
So in the past, those folks would have had to go and pay for a stay-away order that was not criminally enforceable. This new bill has allowed us to create a way for people to go in. If they've had an incident of sexual harassment, they have to have had 3 incidences, one of which has to be a sexual harassment incident, or minimally needs to be, and then they can have this kind of protection. So if somebody violates it, there's a criminal sanction to that. There's not, which just didn't exist before. So for many, many of our clients, this will be the law that will help them.
We've mentioned your hotline and some of the services. I want to get that number up there, which is the Boston Area Rape Crisis Center 24-hour hotline for victims, and that number is 1-800-841-8371, 1-800-841-8371. It's great to have you here on the show to talk a little bit about the work that's been done to date and the work that we need to continue to do. So thank you
for the opportunity.
And as always, to our viewers on the Commonwealth Report, thank you. We welcome your ideas, suggestions, or topics for future shows, and also welcome any feedback that you might have on this show with the email address ltgovoffice@state.ma.us. So as always, thanks for joining us on the Commonwealth Report.